A friend of mine asked me to babysit her daughter for a weekend while she dipped away to Atlanta to a weekend. That was almost 2 months ago. So my friend had a little girl named Mariana. She doesn't know who the father is and whatever. Hikey, she's always been kind of a shit mom, neglectful and short-tempered. But I always thought she loved Mariana. I babysit for Mariana a bit here and there, but I wasn't the only sitter. I came to really like this kid. She's now 4. Ever since January my friend was bragging about her new boyfriend in Atlanta. Late April she messaged me and said, "Hey, my sitter bailed. Can you watch Mary, our nickname for Mariana, from Friday to Monday, April 27th to 30? I'm going to Atlanta to meet my boyfriend and I can't bring her." I agreed to babysit. She told the school and everything. So Friday morning she dropped off a bunch of clothes and a stuffy at my apartment. In hindsight she left way more clothes than was normal, but I didn't think anything of it. Then she left to catch her plane. I went and picked up Mariana from school and took her home. For the record, I don't work. I receive compensation and disability from a work injury that left me with a bad knee. I took her to the park across the street from my building and played with her until dinner time. We cooked dinner together, we cleaned up, watched a movie, and then I read her stories on my phone. The mother didn't have books and never read to her. I got her changed and put her to bed on the couch, and I went to sleep. We had a good weekend. We went to the library Saturday for half the day and played at the park, and Sunday was kind of a lazy cuddle day. We did some crafts, put on a movie, and napped all day. Monday after school the mom was supposed to have come to gotten Mariana by 5. She didn't show. I spammed her phone with calls and texts and got no answer. I didn't know what to do, so I just kept doing what I was doing. Tuesday, there was still no contact. Mariana was starting to get upset and asked where mommy was. Wednesday I went to my friend's house but no one home. I contacted all of our mutual friends but still nothing. Wednesday night was hard. Mariana had a really bad tantrum, crying and screaming for her mommy. It was so bad she didn't sleep and I had to tell her school she wouldn't be in. The school, for the record, wasn't asking questions yet. Finally I got her to calm down. I told her mommy got a little lost on her trip, but until she came home I'd take care of her. She started to have nightmares about being abandoned and became anxious and clingy. After a week of being woken up by her screaming through the night, I let her sleep with me, which helped tremendously. So that lasted 5 days, until I bought her a little futon and put it beside my bed, so if she wakes up she can see that I'm still right beside her. When she was delivered to me in April, her clothes smelled iffy, her shoes had holes in the soles and were too small, and I found out she needs glasses. I bought her a whole new wardrobe, new shoes, I taught her how to cook and bake, and we are learning guitar for kids. She's healthier, she looks better. Before she looked tired all the time and seemed to just be not well nourished. She hadn't touched any soda since she's been in my care, and she eats regular healthy meals. But we ran into an issue. I took her to get glasses and the eye doctor said I couldn't sign for her or make appointments for her since I wasn't her legal guardian. The school began asking, "Where is your friend?" And I have no idea. I told my mom that I would be going to the police and asking them what to do, but what she told me made me stop. Now it's been 2 weeks and I know I can't just keep her, but my mom told me if I went to the police I wouldn't be able to keep her. They'd take her away and try to find the mom or give her to another relative of hers. Mariana would likely go to my friend's mom who used to beat her. When I was getting ready to go with Mariana to the police station I burst into tears and I hugged her and I told her I loved her, and she said "I love you too daddy" without any prompting or that word ever being said around her. I don't want to lose her. Out of everyone in her life I'm the only one who wanted her. I love her. I want her. Edit. Just to clarify, Mariana's grandmother and uncle both know I have her. They seem to know where the mother is, but they won't say anything. They don't care that I'm taking care of her, and they have never requested or demanded her. They don't want her. What do I do? Can I be allowed to adopt her based on the grounds that I've been looking after her this long? Or will they take her away? Edit 2. I've decided that I have to do the right thing. I'm going to call the grandmother Monday morning and tell her I want custody. and then no matter what, I'll call Child Protective Services and apply for emergency custody. I'm not ready to say goodbye. I'm on the brink of a panic attack just thinking of it. I feel sick and I'm sweating. But we have laws for a reason, and if I circumvent them to protect Mariana, other people can do it to hurt kids. I'm going to wait until Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to give Mariana the best night of her life. Anything she wants to do or wants to have is hers. Wish me luck. Edit 3. I sought out help from r/legal advice, but I don't think they understand what I'm trying to figure out, since almost all of their comments are about race. But yeah, I will reach out to Child Protective Services and explain that I have spent months trying to get in touch with Mariana's legal guardian, that I have been her surrogate parent since April, and that Mariana had benefited from my care. I'll try to explain that I would like to be granted temporary custody until this is figured out, since separating us could be traumatizing for Mariana. Thank you all for your advice and kind comments. Edit 4. Since it seemed to upset a lot of people, I deleted some information about how no one knows Mariana's cultural identity. It's not really relevant anyways, as my concerns that culture could influence Child Protective Services decisions is apparently unfounded. I'm happy that Child Protective Services doesn't see color or culture, but I hope that in doing so, they don't mistakenly put children in the homes of people who are disrespectful towards their heritage. Edit 5. I just got off the phone with Mariana's grandmother. It didn't go well. She was quite offended when I said I had already called Child Protective Services, and she was even more offended that I want to adopt Mariana. She insinuated that I'm trying to hurt the mother because I'm jealous that she won't sleep with me. While Mariana's mother is a pretty woman, our personalities are at conflict, and despite my crippling loneliness, I'm not interested in engaging in those activities with her. The exchange became heated as she focused on my weight and lack of sexual prowess, and I focused on Mariana's well-being and my desire to give her a good home. Update. In April, a former friend abandoned her daughter with me and ran away to the States to be with her boyfriend. A lot has happened since my last update. A. Mariana's mom. B. A's mom. C. A's brother. D. A's new boyfriend. E. A's former best friend. Firstly, I filed a complaint with Children's Aid Society citing how I was treated and the fact that the agent did not follow proper procedure. Children's Aid Society agreed that things were handled poorly, but maintained that I had no rights pertaining to Mariana. The lady I talked to was very understanding. She said that they did in fact read the journal I made them, and the Children's Aid Society lady complimented me and stated outright that if I was a relative, even a distant one, she would be in my care no problem. Police investigated Mariana's mother A's disappearance. They found her. She was pregnant and living with D. She may potentially get deported back to Canada. I don't know if that's true or not though. She would not return Children's Aid Society's phone calls. I reached out to A's brother C, as the grandmother, B, was not returning my calls. C and I talked. I asked him how Mariana was. I asked about his sister. I explained everything. He told me the following. Screen caps of a group text where A responded to B telling her I would call Children's Aid Society. A said call them and tell them he touches little girls lol. Verbatim. Mariana was kept in Children's Aid Society's care while the process to cut A's parental rights went on. They said she was suffering from extreme distress. B was granted emergency custody, but B was witnessed by Mariana's personal Children's Aid Society worker selling pain pills. When B was warned about selling drugs around a 4-year-old, she stated that she couldn't look after her and gave her back to Children's Aid Society. Technically A still has parental rights. She played the system. C finally admitted he wasn't okay with everything, but he couldn't afford to take Mariana. He put me in touch with A, who was rude and obnoxious. A is pregnant again, and she's taken Mariana to the States. Currently, she is in trouble for a DUI she got. I don't know the details. I called her and said outright that she should allow me to take Mariana in a closed adoption where she would have visitation rights and she wouldn't have to have her taken by Child Protective Services. We got into a big fight and I said, just because you don't want Mariana doesn't mean she should suffer or be abused. Let me give her a loving home. I said to her there is a reason she dropped Mariana with me in the first place. I told her, deep down inside she chose me because she knew I would love her. I cried during our talk and she teared up too. But after our talk she, according to mutual friends, went on a huge tirade about me on Facebook. My current primary goal is to get Mariana away from me. She is continuing to drink and do drugs, and her boyfriend is not someone anyone trusts. The grandmother is completely out of the picture. A's close friend E reached out to me and said that she thought things were terrible and she fought against A and sacrificed their friendship to stick up for me. I found it moving because he wasn't someone I talked to. I'm trying to work out a deal with C, my lawyer, who is a redditor from the last thread working pro bono for me, promised to represent him in family court for free. We are urging him to fight for Mariana to get away from A and D so we can move forward with a closed adoption. C doesn't want to destroy the family any more than this already has, but he is considering it. He admits I'm the only person who ever really cared about his niece, and I'm probably the only one who can make her happy. Honestly, it's been hard. Emotionally, it's been really devastating to see Mariana go to such a bad place. I don't know what she is going through, but this has been torture for her. These months of struggle left me feeling bitter and angry, as well as depressed and helpless. It's been hard to maintain a positive attitude. Every time I see her stuff in my apartment, I tear up and get emotional. I have been sleeping poorly and skipping meals. I haven't been healthy since I lost her. Legally, if C doesn't go through with his side, it's over. Sometimes I wonder if I could have just kept her. Probably not, but she would be healthier and happier if I could have. I feel like the system failed Mariana. In my last thread, a young mom reached out to me. She was a few hours away in real life, so we talked and ended up getting along very well. We've started a relationship, and we met up a couple of times. She's been very helpful in helping me cope. Last time some people got weirded out over my emotional attachment to Mariana. This time I'm not engaging with people like that this time. These kinds of people are the ones who think I should have hired a woman to do all the childka stuff for Mariana, or left her to marinate in filth for weeks. These are the kinds of people who will never understand that I love Mariana and I want to be a part of her life to protect and raise and help her for as long as there is life in me. She's family. I'm anxious. There is no telling what abuse Mariana will go through at home. A should have lost parental rights a long time ago, but that process is moving slowly apparently. They may not be able to enforce it with A in the States now. So that's that. If things are going to work out, it will still be over a year before I see Mariana again. But more likely, it all ends here. Update: a woman abandoned her daughter Mariana in my care for months while she fled the country to live with another man. Now the matter has reached a resolution, though not a happy one. Check my post history for the old posts. The basic rundown is Mariana was abandoned in my care while A, her mom, left to meet her new boyfriend in the States. B, the grandmother is abusive and doesn't want Mariana. C, the uncle doesn't have the finances to raise her. A, is pregnant from her new boyfriend. D, after Mariana was returned to Child Protective Services, A took her to the States. We tried to have C sue for custody of Mariana due to A's neglect and dangerous lifestyle. I want to adopt Mariana, but for now I'm just praying that C gets her and I can just be her babysitter. I promised C if he got custody I'd support Mariana financially. Whether she lives with me or with him doesn't matter. I just want her to be happy. So here's what happened since then. D dumped A, threw her out for cheating on him, and was charged for assaulting A's lover. A then fled back to her grandmother's. C backed out of the suit. He believes that he can support Mariana now that she's back home. But I doubt it. Either way, it's all over. A and B are gone. They moved and now I know nothing. I'm never getting Mariana. I'm never seeing her again. That's how this all ends. I'm sorry for getting people's hopes up. In my last post I mentioned I started seeing a young mom from Reddit. We are still together, and her kid both really get along with me. We became Facebook official, and have approached the subject of moving in together. Mariana left a big hole in my heart, but this woman is helping me to heal. She has said that I can't do anything more for Mariana, but I can be there for her and her daughter. I don't know what to do with Mariana's things. I've given my girlfriend's daughter as much of it as she wants/needs, but there is still a lot. Edit. What my partner meant is that we've exhausted all our legal options, and even my lawyer has said without C's help it's all over. She was just trying to convey that I could make a difference to someone, even if I couldn't help Mariana any further. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, hit like, get subscribed, and tell us if the OP did the right thing in the comment section, and support the original writers with upvotes. Links in the description box.